Hey, what's gonna fellas? Hope all is well. I hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are well. It's awesome you sparred. It's pretty cool, man. Yeah, man. Pretty cool. Listen, okay. This live video is probably gonna be very, very driven for a lot of you guys, especially if you're on the SR journey, okay? There's been a lot of things that you need to know that can drive you this year. Okay, so stay tuned by the end of the video so you know what these things are. Brother, I'm gonna challenge you this time. Not in 2014, not in 2018, not in 2021, and not in 2022. This is the time right now to get yourself together. This is the time right now to get yourself together. And I'm gonna say about 3 points in this video that we're gonna get off. But number one, everything of what you've been wanting to be when you was 8 years old. When you was 8 years old, are you the person that you want to be right now? Okay. This little 8-year-old kid right here. Okay. Little 8-year-old kid. I always wanted to be somebody. Said, hey, I want to be this guy. I want to be that guy. Parents have raised him up so well, just like so many other men and women. Wanting him to have the best life, wanting him to do the absolute best, wanting him to be the absolute best. Him playing with cars, imagining, I want to be this when I grow up. I want to be that. And that childlike joy. So excited for the small things. Going outside in public. Being able to play with little Danny. Right? The beautiful thing about this is that a lot of you guys are young. It's only about 10 years ago that you guys were kid. Only 10 years ago, only a decade. For a lot of you guys. For a lot of us. You know, some of you guys are in your early 20s. Teenage years, whatever. So it's only been a decade. It's only been a decade that this has been happening. The kingdom of God is always going to be within. I want you to go to a picture of yourself from back in the past. I want you to retrace back the steps and see your mindset. Because there's so many distractions in today's world. Other people, you know, LeBron James, NBA, all this stuff. You know, we didn't have this 10 years ago. You know, we were mainly focused on our kingdoms. It's only been less than 100 years that we had TV, right? People lived without TVs for hundreds and thousands of years, right? Lived without TVs. They had radios. So it's time to go back to your kingdom, brother. It's time to see who you really are, who you truly are. Because your kingdom is also important. You are important. You are extremely important in this world. What society does is say, if you're not at this many days, or if you are not an NBA player, if you're not this, that, and third, then you're not important. Then you're just a regular person in today's world. But the truth is that your life matters, man. You know why? Because if you do look for a family one day, the truth is that in 2080, your grandchildren, they're going to be telling you what man you were to their kids. Hey, there's going to be a time and a point where in 2080, your great-grandchildren are going to ask you, right? God willing, you never know who you are in the end times. But just imagine this, man. In 2080, your great-great-grandchildren are going to ask, who was my great-great-grandfather, man? What did he stand for? What were the principles that he stood for in today's world? And they really want to know. They want to know their family tree. And I hope it's not just a guy just on TikTok scrolling all day, watching another person be successful. I hope you're creating a legacy for yourself. I hope you're being the best version of yourself. Being a newer and improved version of yourself. Leaving a legacy, being different than the other people in today's world. Because it's easy for a man to go to work and then just scroll, watching other people be successful, watching other people doing this. That's light work. Anybody can do that. And say, you know what? This year is my year, 2023. And I put 2024 for a reason, fellas. Because your life matters, man. Now. Your life matters now. And the reason why some people don't really, like, they look at David Goggins or they look at other people as, wow, wow. Because you got to look at yourself too, man. You got to look at yourself too. You and your life. Your life matters, man. Being this average guy, that's fitting in the world, man. But this little 8-year-old kid is wondering, what man were you? What man am I, man? Your parents just raising you, loving you so much, and they still love you, right? But everything, when you was 8 years old, you didn't imagine yourself to be in the 12th grade anytime soon. But you hit 12th grade, bro. You hit 12th grade. I mean, when we were kids, we weren't thinking about, oh man, adulthood and all this stuff. Now you are an adult now. And now you got to give accountability for everything that you've imagined when you was young, everything that you went through, the training that you went through. Some of you guys probably came from a very, very nice family where your parents, your loved ones, they really just trained you up to be the, so that way you can be a man in today's world, right? So what man are you today? And is this the man that you want to be? Is this the man that you want to be in today's world? Is this what you want? It's easy to go, don't focus on other people right now. Don't worry about the other person right now. A lot of people focus on the tomorrow. A lot of people go to TikTok, YouTube to escape their current reality. But know that your current reality is important. And know that you have to testify for everything of what you're doing. The dopamine. Let's go all the way to the root cause of the problem, man. Okay? We've only had social media for 10 plus years. 10 plus years at that, right? Think about all the rewiring of the mind of focusing on another person. TV, television, turn it to the programming the mind. All of it to, you got to start thinking of that, man. To go to the mind. The mind. What about you and your life? Because I have one question for you. Your life is important. You know why? Imagine, have you ever been in that situation where you may have people in a room watching a TV show or watching sports? Then what happens is that they're all focused on the TV, right? But when the commercial hits, dead quiet. They don't even know what to say. So you see how they kind of escape their current reality to a point where they don't even know what to say, but they're in the same exact room. All the stuff of watching other people, watching people succeed, watching, people complain about Russell Westbrook and NBA. They're in the game. But the people on the sidelines are the people who are just commenting this, that, and the third about them and critiquing them and all this stuff. But they're in the game. They're providing, they're doing what they need to do. Regardless if they're trash or not, they made it to the NBA. And they're inside the game. But what about you in your life, man? What are the documents for you in your life? What is the TV show for you in your life? That's a question, right? That's a question. Because if I were to go back a year ago to you in your life, I have one question for you, man. Do you remember more things about your life, or do you remember more things about social media? You probably don't remember those TikTok videos that you probably been watching a year ago. You don't remember them, right? You remember your life. You remember your life. What you did a year ago. Where was I at? You was probably in school. You was probably playing basketball. You weren't thinking about that TikTok. That TikTok was not important. That TV show, that was not important. It's all instant. Television to television. When you go back in the past 10 years ago, do you remember the TV show vividly, or do you remember your life vividly? And that's the question. Do you remember that TV show vividly, or do you remember that life vividly? And so inside of this brain that you have, brother, you're never going to be able to escape this stuff. Whether you decide to go the next level or not, you will not be able to escape it, brother. Because it's always going to come back to creep on you, man. Because you got to give accountability to your life when you hit the age of 30 years old. And that time and the point where everybody's saying happy birthday, happy birthday. Then all of a sudden, boom, once you get done eating that birthday cake, you go in that restroom and say, hey, thank you guys. Listen, I gotta go to the restroom right quick. You go in that restroom, only for 15 seconds is one of the most powerful things inside of your whole life, because you're thinking in the back of your mind, I'm now 3. I'm not in my 20s no more. What did I do in my 20s? Was that TikTok all that, was that important to you? Or was it leaving? Because now you've got to leave a legacy, because you will never get these years back. And guess what? Because you will never get these years back, this is for an eternity for your mind. When you hit 6 years old, all of your 20s is just going to be a memory. What do you want for your memory to be while you're in your 20s? For your life, not LeBron James' life, not this guy's life, not that guy's life. I could care less if he's bigger than in the gym. It's about you and your life. What vivid memory do you want to have? Because I can guarantee you this. You look at people like Muhammad Ali. Now, obviously, he's someone that he didn't believe in the Lord. Okay, and he believed in him, but he did not, have a relationship with him. One thing I can tell you is this: is that when he hit 6 years old, he can have a vivid memory of himself, because he wasn't like the crowd. He didn't fit into the crowd. He stood up for something, man. That's a memory that you want to have. I want you to have a memory for your life. Don't just stand up for just, watching other people succeed. Stand up for your life, man. Be the best at something. Do something and be great at it. Be dominant. Don't just be basic and average, man. What fun is that? That's nothing. Being basic and average what is that? What vivid memory can you have, man? What legacy you're gonna have to your kids? When you gotta tell your kids and you gotta look them in the eye, dead in the eye, in 2040, you can be anything you set your mind to, but you know exactly what you did in 2022, 2023. That's the question you gotta ask yourself, brother. See, you will not be able to hide from this no more. It's time to stop hiding away and watching TikTok videos to hide away from your current life. Because when you have a family one day, your kids are gonna be asking you how to do this, how to do that. Then all of a sudden that time creeped on you. And now you gotta look back at your life. What did you do? What man did you become? Did you give your all in this, man? In this lifetime? See, we don't think about it because we're so young. But do you not realize that there's an 80-year-old man out there that was once your age as well, and he probably thought the same thing, that I'm gonna be young forever. And now he's 80 years old out there, and he's wondering, what man did he become? What man did he actually become in today's world? What man did he become in the 60s, the 50s, when God was just pouring into him, pouring into his mind, to the youth of him, telling him, I need you to go to this level of life? Did he become that level? Doesn't matter about JFK back then. Didn't matter about all these people externally. They played an influence. But when God tells that person to do something, he means it, brother. Because guess what? When God tells you something, it's for you and you only. But it's not for that person over there. It's for your life, man. Your life matters. Your life matters. So when God tells you to do something, you do it now. You grind now. When God gives you the opportunity, brother, you go at it now. I want you to be able to look up at the sky and just say, yes. Man, December 31st, 2023, I became the man I need to be. When everybody else left the gym, March 15th, right, and said, oh, this year is just 2024 is mine. You was at the gym September 1st. Those same people that were not at the gym, you was at the gym because you have a future. Your life matters, and every day you will not be able to get this day back. This day, you can't get this back. It's a memory now. See, people, you got people who are 100 years old, right? They play a vivid memory, okay? They play a vivid memory of who they were back then, back in the day. And you got to be able to take accountability for the person you are right now, brother. You see how everything's just memory now. You go back yesterday, that was a memory. You go back a year, that was a memory. That was a memory. See, everything's a memory. And don't you want to be able to look at your mind and say, man, I became that guy. Doesn't matter what people thought about me. It doesn't matter what the world thinks. When God told me, I am this, brother, I am this. And I promise you I will reach. I promise you I'll reach that, bro. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. If you've not hit a level yet inside of your life where you just probably just staying at this level, stagnant, probably always been average, been basic, right? Watching other people succeed. It comes down to a point where you got to kind of be sick and tired and know that you are actually a man. You're a grown man now. You are a grown man now. And now it's time to take accountability for your life, brother. Imagine how many people in Judgment Day. And let's just say this stuff happens, because I know we're only saved by grace. But just think about this in this specific term. What if God says, job well done, good and faithful servant? You were saved by the Lord. And then God shows you a picture on the right side of the man that you were supposed to be. And you look at that picture, right? You look at that, right? And you look at that with awe. The Creator is showing you exactly the man you were supposed to be inside of his life. And now you can't get that back ever again. You gotta give accountability for your life, brother. I want you to start thinking that, man. What man does God want me to be? And you look at that. Imagine how many people have only been living at 60% of themselves instead of 100%. Who is living at 100%? Name somebody in this world. 9 to 5. Name somebody around you, around your circle, who is growing at 100% every day. Name somebody. When you look around, when you go to the grocery store, look at their face. Are people grinding at 100%? We're like this, a fraction. We could have been an animal. We could have been a cricket. We could have been this. We could have been born in the 1700s. We could have been born in the 18. We could have been born in a place that we shouldn't have been, that we didn't have the opportunities that we do now. You got to look at the blessings of what you got right now, brother. This is a blessing that you got. Now is the time to not complain. And I got to pull the need out of my eye, because there's so many times where I complain. But then you realize, man, you got your youth right now, brother. You got your youth. There are so many, brother, there are so many 80-year-old, okay, that want their youth, man. They want their youth. I've seen it. They want their youth. If only I can change this stuff. But guess what? Now you have an opportunity to be that guy. I want you to be so great inside of whatever it is that God has called you to do. So purpose-driven, being consistent, writing down goals, 30-day goals, 60-day goals, 90-day goals, writing down the action steps to get it. Every day, writing down action steps. What do I need to do to go from day 0 to day 30? I want you to be so dominant with the purpose that God has given you. So humble, so meek, and so powerful. Okay, so powerful in what God has given you. I want you to be like Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, he was an American football player. There's so many kids who